The story of 13-year-old Emilia Beka from Ekwampuano in the Konfi district of the Central Region reflects a harrowing tale of survival and resilience. Emilia was sold into a life of bondage by her parents to her slave masters in Half-Assini in the Western Region. Forced to work long hours in bad conditions, she was stripped of her childhood and freedom. Tonight on ChannelOne television, Emilia shares her story of escape and triumph. Central Regional correspondent Calvis Tete traveled to the town to give us this report.
The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 8.7 talks about the immediate and effective measure to eradicate forced labor and end modern-day slavery and human trafficking and secure the prohibition and elimination of the worst forms of child labor. However, in the Konfi district of the Central Region, that is not the case, as children are sold into slavery by their parents and in some instances, their caretakers. But ChannelOne News sought to find out the factors that drive parents to sell their children into slavery, and one of the key factors is poverty. Data from the Multidimensional Poverty Index from the Ghana Statistical Service shows that 31.5% of the population lives in the multidimensional poverty range, and the average intensity of poverty is 44.6%. Konfi is also 173rd out of 226 districts in terms of percentage of population living in the multidimensional poor households. For 9 out of 13 indicators such as health, education, and standard of living, among other indices, Konfi had higher deprivation than the national average. Emilia's case reflects the situation in the Konfi enclave, as most parents, driven by poverty, often give their children out as slaves to work and support their families. Emilia narrates her ordeal in the hands of her slave masters in Half-Assini, working as an attendant in a choba from captivity to liberation.
I'm going to school. I'm going to school. I'm going to Mami afrano akana muko school peno akacha na mkancha mami de muko school. Mami for how beble. And I'm na ya wo. I'm be to of another one man ye na. As a me ko grandma kada.
No ni manu
Wada.
Nti you meet 12 one ho nam. Africa krabate de.
You know mama na bed me o me English me fi o me husband to job and no me husband. Wash mama mbe mina na mu atuto nkube sana ha ma fem no so nti sam yan ku so ka fedem ha am no minimum no so about.
Not satisfied with the treatment meted out to her by her principal, she had to work extra weeks at the choba without her madam's knowledge to save money to run away from captivity.
My job ya be bus me bi ni na me lo ma mblem ku mo lo le na mba. Back to
Ekwampuano in the Konfi district of the Central Region, Emilia is struggling to settle in Ekwampuano as her mother is also working at Yeji to make ends meet. She lives on the benevolence of residents to survive and wants to go back to school.
Mami na metunche na mejen mo 14 na mde da mdu kwa 20 na we gumomo ni da emna imu na kaba ya da atedbe
Ko su ko do yin
fa do class 2 na mu kwa fasi na mu ko jina class 3 na za so yema mija fasi mu ko school class 3 first time na yema o yema mija school
na che da odada wa wo fu de onu do ko school ni wan ko school. Residents are worried about Emilia's abandonment in the community and fears she might fall prey and get pregnant if help does not come early for her to go back to school.
Meba mukobi na mata abfra madana bai. Me peda moto abfra no school ha na moto no school na me hu obi a obohwe mo so mafia akọ. Me peda abfra no ba ya adegenya nti. Me fra maame na maame no mbra. Na maame no ba na mo fra afasene a wobotum ayamboaye a wobotum oda ahwe abfra. Maame na ntum ayede amba. Madam you to her also by John Fana, your mamma also by job. Into my minimum akasa, now some more catch my auntie, Mother Canine. More watch them. Says I'm your case, my pain and pommy to be in chain. Na me in the year, you know. My friend Wapper Pay.
One of the brave advocates fighting to end modern-day slavery is challenging heights, a non-governmental organization based in Winneba in the Central Region. Leader of the group, Enoch Deripufa, shared with ChannelOne News the impact of child slavery and the need for government to draw its attention in that direction.
The issues we have has to do with the enforcement, and there are aspects of like our social life, our country context, country-specific context, that makes it sometimes difficult. It's not a justification. I am not a law enforcement person, but someone who works in the NGO, and sometimes we collaborate with them to for issues of prosecution. Sometimes we get the difficulties, and we ourselves feel the brunt. There are people who, at the end of the day, their children are rejected if, let's say, they provide information to the police that maybe somebody in the community is trying to traffic them, or especially if it's a family member. Where family members are involved, children tend to be there, like they tend to be even more vulnerable. The whole family, the whole community tend to reject them when prosecution of the slave master or the trafficker takes place. And when it happens like that, you know our social protection system is not so strong to be able to take care of such children.
Director of the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit of the Ghana Police Service, William Ayariga, wants proper collaboration done to ensure that traffickers are dealt with.
We are building the capacity of the Ghana Police Service, we build the capacity of the prosecutors, we build the capacity of the judges, so that any time human trafficking issues or cases are sent or are reported to the police will be able to do an in-depth investigation and ensure that we build a watertight case docket, a docket that can withstand the test of time, so that when we put suspects before accused persons before court, they can be tried expeditiously and ensure that they deliver expeditious justice. Because there's a saying that justice delayed is justice denied.
13-year-old Emilia hails from Ekumpuano here in the Kumfi district of the Central Region. Human trafficking in this area is rife, and like Emilia's situation, she doesn't want a similar situation to befall other girls. She's hoping that authorities will make laws to fight human trafficking. Calvis Tete, ChannelOne News, Ekumpuano.